when I chose the Jailhouse Rock, um, it was me saying to the world, to the naysayers, you're not going to hold me hostage over something that was bad and horrific in our life. You're not going to shame me for that.
Virtual reality.
Todd and Julie Chrisley, congratulations on an amazing run on The Masked Singer. I was so delighted to find out that the croissants were the Chrisleys, because I feel like us and all the internet, we
got a hunch.
We figured that out. I do hate that you got eliminated so early on in the competition. How are y'all feeling about that?
I know. It was a bummer, but we had an amazing time, so I can't complain.
We had a very nice time, and we were surrounded by some wonderful people. Our team was great that was assigned to us. And Julie and I, it was the first thing in production that Julie and I had done together without the kids. And so that was different, and we had a great time. We had a lot of fun.
And now, outside of The Masked Singer, which one of you is usually the biggest singer? You know what I mean? Like, who was like, oh, really? And what's the go-to song?
Todd has a great voice. You know, he actually recorded a song with Sarah Evans, the country music singer Sarah Evans, years ago. And yes, so he has an amazing voice. So I really was the ball and chain in this scenario. And I have apologized to him.
Oh my God. Well, I was reading in another interview that when you guys were presented with the costumes, you saw the black stripes, but it didn't bother you. And you even leaned into the whole prison theme with Jailhouse Rock. What kind of inspired you to lean into it rather than sort of run away from all the headlines in your past? And you know, we've seen it all play out. I feel like not many celebrities would be like, yeah, I'm gonna own this.
Well, you know, it is our story. You know, everyone has a story, and your story doesn't have all good parts. I don't care who you are. So I think it was our time to own it, to move on from it, to say, okay, this was a part of our history. This was a part of our story. We lived through it. We survived it. And now we're ready to move on.
Yeah, and good for you.
I think for me, it was, yeah, I think for me that, you know, when I chose the Jailhouse Rock, it was me saying to the world, to the naysayers, I'm going to get here before you get here. And you're not going to hold me hostage over something that was bad and horrific in our life. You're not going to shame me for that. And I'm going to take possession of my own peace. And so we leaned into it at that point.
That makes sense, because it's almost like if you guys are having not fun with it, but you know what I mean, like leaning into it and like not shying away from it, it kind of doesn't give people the ammo to hit you with that too.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Now, what I do like about this experience, like you were mentioning, it was the first time you guys got to be able to do a production without the kids. You could focus on yourself. You could sort of like rebond in a way. After, you know, an extended period of spending so much time apart, I can't imagine, because, you know, I'm married and I love being with my husband. He's my person. We're basically codependent, and I know you guys are, you were very, very
We
close.
have that same disease.
Right, exactly. So I'm just kind of curious, what was the toughest part about being away from each other for so long, and how did you cope?
You know, we didn't hear each other's voice for 28 months. We were not able to speak. We had limited email that, you know, was monitored, and it was very slow, because in prison we were considered high profile, so everything had to be even more monitored, I think, than normal. So it was that, you know, like you said, we're a team. We've been married. This May will be 30 years. And so, you know, we from just decisions that we make on a daily basis to raising our children, and regardless of how old they are, you're still parents, and you still want to make sure that you're giving the best advice and that you're on the same page. And I think for us, because we have always been on the same page for the most part, it continued on. And yes, I walked into that prison by myself, but in my heart, Todd was always there. And I knew that it didn't matter how long we were going to be there. We didn't know how long we knew we couldn't be there any longer than our sentence, but we had no idea. But I also knew that that wasn't going to change anything, and that when I left there, I would still walk out and we would come home to each other.
Yeah, did it almost feel like when you guys reunited, like a honeymoon period? You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh my God, we're back and reunited. Like it's like you guys are like newlyweds again. Like you can't get your hands off each other. You just want to spend all the time together.
Well, we are 57 and 52. So, yes, we enjoyed that, that being able to be with each other and, go to bed with each other at night, wake up with each other, and, Julie back in the kitchen and getting back into our routine. But I think that for me, I want to focus more now on what we're doing going forward as a couple, because, we do have the new show coming out with our entire family, the new reality show. And so we start with that for 2026. And we've got other shows that Julie's got a cooking show that she starts filming next month. Cool. And then I'm doing another show with Chase. Julie's got a show she's doing with Savannah, and then I'm going overseas to shoot a show for 2 weeks.
Oh my God! Wow.
So,
y'all are busy.
Holy crap, that's amazing.
2026, we're very blessed.
To make up for lost time.
Yeah.
2026, we're very busy. But I think that when you're going back to your statement, that and to you, that you're with your husband all the time and you're codependent on that. Julie and I are very codependent on each other. And I know what she's going to do. She knows what I'm going to do. And she knows how I'm going to respond to certain things. Because, if someone says something that I don't like, you can see Julie across the room going, she'll give me that, don't do it, don't be baited. And so she's kind of a keeper for me in that regard. And then I try to look out for all the things that I know that she needs to have. But at the end of the day, just to be able to sit and have a conversation and to share your thoughts that you have that you can't share with anyone else, and to be able to do that in a safe, protected space, that was probably the thing that I missed the most.
Yeah.
And speaking of conversations, Savannah, speaking of how busy y'all are going to be too, she's going to be having a lot of conversations on The View for a week in February. Are you guys excited for her? Are you like nervous? Like what? How are we feeling about her?
I would rather eat my way across the front lawn than for her to do this show. Oh. But it's just, my daughter is going to do fine. I love Whoopi. I've always had a great relationship with Whoopi. But it's a decision that she has made, and we support her in that decision.
Absolutely.
Okay, but it seems like there's some hesitance from you guys. Why were you kind of like maybe not feeling it so much? Are you scared for her?
No. Scared for her, Chrisley?
No, I'm
okay.
not scared
all right,
for her.
that was a dumb question. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Did you have any concerns?
They've had their opinions. The View has had their opinions about us, and they have had certain things that they've said about us. And I think just she's still, no matter how old she is, she's our child, and so we just never want to put her in any.
We didn't put her in any situation. She chose that situation.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's a decision that Savannah has made. She will be fine. She has been raised to be respectful and to be kind and to be generous. Yeah. And her mother and I would expect her to do that, to be able to do that while sitting at that table with those women. I would like for Savannah to participate in things to where her voice and her opinions are respected.
I see.
And I don't know that is going to be the right platform.
Because I do feel like, to go on The View, it does, she's opening up herself to a new level of potential criticism. Do you think she's equipped to handle that?
Savannah is very equipped to handle anything that those ladies can throw at her. And let's remember, what Savannah has at that table, those women don't have, and that's youth.
Oh, okay.
So
all right,
Savannah
Todd Chrisley.
Savannah will be hella quick when it comes back. And at the end of the day, you can Google the Chrisleys, but we can also Google you. You can check our background. We can also check yours. So if you come on there and you start with some shady and you don't want your dirty laundry hung out, the best thing to do is to make sure you take it off the line.
That's true, because it's good she's there for a full week. So if someone comes for her on Tuesday, she can show up on Wednesday. Like, Hi, guess what?
I'll help her with anything. I'll help her with anything she needs. She won't be short of a comeback.
Now, Todd, speaking of Todd's, your friend Candy Burris, she and Todd decided to part ways. Have you been able to touch base with Candy? Because I know she's always been so supportive of you. Have you been able to touch base with her after she announced her split from Todd?
Candy is one of my best friends that I love dearly. And Candy and I talk daily or every other day. And I love her, and I hate that she's going through what she's going through. But she will come out on top like she always does. She is a survivor, and she's a winner, and she's just a good, decent, honorable human being. And I have nothing bad to say about Todd. I wish them both nothing but success in their life, and that they can co-parent their children together successfully.
Yeah.
And that's really about it. I mean, she is a loyal friend, and I want to always be able to extend that same loyalty to her.
And she's killing it on Broadway right now. And now that we know that
Yes.
your singing extends from The Masked Singer, is that on the vision? Like, would that be a thing?
You know, I don't know what God has in store for me, but I am coming to New York to see her on Broadway. And
Nice.
so, you know, to support her as a friend, just as she has done with us.
I love that. And because you both are not on The Masked Singer for as long as time as I know a lot of the fans would have liked to see you all on, is there a song that you wished you got to sing?
You know,
The next
Not
song,
really.
The next song that we were going to sing was called Butter.
Oh,
And I thought it would have just been really cute.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah.
oh, Butter
By,
Butter by BTS. That's a good one. That would have been great
Yes,
with
yes.
the croissants. Those croissant
would.
costumes,
It would have been
honestly,
so
were
good.
they were stunning. What is it like stepping inside one of those costumes? Is it physically demanding to wear them and perform in them?
Very much so.
The costumes were beautiful though. In person, like when we saw them for the first time in person, they were so beautiful and so much detail. But they were heavy, and it was really hard to see because you just had a little tiny little mesh that you could see through. So it was a little hard to navigate, and especially when you're not used to being on stage even without a costume.
Right.
It took a little bit of time, but they were amazing costumes. Those costume designers are just above and beyond there.
The costumes were heavy, but again, we had such an amazing team that they got us where we needed to get to and made sure we were in the right spots. And it was really a very pleasant experience.
Yes.
Isn't it like so crazy? Did you ever think that when you guys were sentenced and you were going into prison, that your first like post-prison move would be The Masked Singer? Like it's odd. Like you can't write that.
I thought it was gonna be OnlyFans, but then this.
Hey, I feel like you would kill it on
you
OnlyFans,
would.
Todd.
And it's only January. We have a lot
Please
of.
do not encourage him. Do not encourage him.
I had someone send me a thing on Instagram, and they said, "We need you on OnlyFans." And I went to Chase. I said, "What is this?" And he said, "Daddy, no, you're not doing that." And I said, "Tell me about what it." He said, "Daddy, you're not doing it." And so then I started Googling to find out what all this stuff was about. And I'm like, at 57, no one wants to see that.
I mean, if people are demanding it, though, they want to see it.
That goes to tell you, buddy, that there's a hat for every head.
Right, exactly. Well, I feel like you guys are navigating your post-prison life as best you can. You're having fun with it. We are kind of we were talking about Housewives, we were talking about Candy Burris. It had me thinking of Dr. Wendy Osefo from Potomac Housewives. She and Eddie were charged for alleged fraud. They are awaiting their trial. If they are sentenced, if they do go to prison, just as people who are, in the public eye, etc., do you have any advice for them on how to handle their situation?
I know who they are. I know who she is from just the Housewives franchise. But I don't know anything about their case. I don't know anything. The only thing I can say is that you're stronger than you think you are. And I tried to stay true to who I am. And I feel like I have done that. I mean, when I went to prison, the women that were in there were like, oh my gosh, you're exactly the way you are on TV. And, I took that as a compliment, and I continued that, throughout the entire time that I was there. But, I wish them nothing but the best. And, if they need anything or have any questions, she can sure reach out to me for sure.
I don't know who we're actually talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's Potomac House.
Okay. But I think that for anyone to be going through that particular journey, it's very hard and difficult because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And we unfortunately, our justice system is not what the whole world thinks it is, or maybe the world's finally waking up to what the justice system really is. So if they have children, I hate it for their children. And I hate it for them. It's a couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hate it for them. So, I would just say that, we will add them to our prayer list, and we will pray that God will intervene and will let this chapter of their life go as quickly as it possibly can.
Oh, well, that was very beautiful. And we took up a lot of your guys' time. We'll let you go eat some croissants now that you're done being in the costumes for them. Thank you both again. And we're excited to see what's going on the rest of 2026 because it seems busy.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You've both been lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.